Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to VG Myths, the online internet video game TV show that never forgets to shuffle the deck. Tonight, by popular demand, we're spiritually continuing our Level 1 Kingdom Hearts run with its true sequel, the Game Boy Advance card-battling beat-em-up RPG that everybody very specifically asked for and expected. Can you beat Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories at Level 1-ish? But before you answer that question, you're probably wondering what kind of reality-defying Nomura-level semantics we're up to this time. Chain of Memories features no equivalent to the EXP Zero ability, meaning we'll inevitably level up if we collect EXP. You might point out that unlike the first game, EXP is a collectible that's technically dodgeable. I have the same thought, but while you can absolutely consistently dodge random Heartless EXP until it despawns, Boss EXP is another story altogether. Later bosses flood the entire screen, and Boss EXP is extra special, taking approximately— Whoops! I'm so sorry. My voice just transcended scripts. Cough, cough. Anyway, I spent like 6 hours waiting for EXP to despawn. And it didn't. I got bored. Somebody in the chat said it despawns eventually. So let's just pinky swear and believe them, and it's true. Science solved. The end. A true level 1 run is very probably outright impossible, but experience is only as useful as what you get out of it. While Sora's gonna be doing a lot of leveling up with just 2 self-imposed rules, he'll receive absolutely no benefits whatsoever. Number 1, invest all level bonuses into card points. And number 2, never create a deck exceeding 275 card points. In Chain of Memories, the player manually chooses one of 3 bonus categories after Sora gains a level. Max health, which is self-explanatory, max card points, which allows Sora to put more cards in his deck, and a special slate attack performed when stocking multiple specific cards at once. Since Sora's max card points at level 1 are 275, if you invest exclusively in card points and never create a deck exceeding that number, gameplay will be functionally indistinguishable from a true level 1 run. With the rules finally set, let's get this run started. As you'd expect from a low-level run, the early game is no different from a casual playthrough. In Chain of Memories in particular, you won't see any actual challenge until the very late game with the final boss gauntlet. Most of your time until then will be spent grinding for map cards, which are constantly consumed as you progress through the castle. 1 map card is dropped at the end of most Heartless battles, and as a bonus challenge, I decided to avoid collecting any EXP from random Heartless, making this grind very slow and methodical. Honestly, in retrospect, I personally recommend doing without the bonus challenge so you can rush through the grind and get to the face bashing ASAP. Less optional is constructing your ideal deck. Along the way, make sure to collect Moogle points and buy some card backs. This is my own final personalized deck. It went through some minor changes in the boss gauntlet, but kept to the same general idea. Most important are Zero cards and Cure cards, positioned at the back of the deck for easy access. Counters are normally performed by playing a higher valued card than the one currently in play. Zero cards bypass this rule and can counter any valued card, but likewise can be countered by any card. Save these for when bosses use their super special slate attacks. As for the Cure cards, I had 1 at a decent high value and 2 at lower values. The higher valued one is used for in-the-moment active healing. The other 2 are a bit more complicated. Wait for a random friend card to drop, stock it, then stock the 2 Cure cards. The first card in a stock is removed from your deck for the rest of the battle, but random friend cards are already a consumable anyway. This lets you keep a free high-value Cure cast up your sleeve for if you're ever backed into a corner. Just be warned, Donald is still Donald. The rest of the deck I filled with a handful of attack cards 7 and above, squeezing just barely under the deck limit. This deck can't do anything fancy, but considering how little room we have to work with, it's plenty good enough for sustainable strategies against every boss. Keep in mind, with a deck this small, you'll need to reload extremely often. Whenever you get the opportunity, preload your reload card and leave it just slightly unfilled to cash in later. While no bosses can one-hit KO you, if you don't have your cards at the ready immediately, you can easily get comboed to death before you get your bearings. Your priorities should be in order: healing till your health is at full, preloading till your reload card is nearly filled, then attacking until you take damage, need to reload, or your opponent's face ceases to not exist. Starting with Repliku 3, each boss will thoroughly test your card playing mettle. They're extremely aggressive and make it difficult to get in any damage unscathed. Luckily, humanoid boss characters have their own deck and play by the same rules and same limitations as the player. That means whenever they use one of their special slate attacks, they sacrifice the first stocked card. If you survive long enough, they'll exhaust their own deck and stop using slates entirely. This also has some strange side effects on the enemy AI. They'll be way less aggressive, mindlessly shift through their deck, and keep reloading after using hardly any cards, presumably because they can't find any cards they actually like. On multiple occasions, they were even so hopeless they reloaded their deck twice in a row. Larxing 2's AI is double terrible, and you won't even have to wait for her to use up her deck. If you're near her on the X-axis but far on the Z-axis, she'll fruitlessly clobber the air directly in front of her. The hardest endgame boss by far is Hollow Marluxia, particularly thanks to his dash attack, which instantly covers a wide area and takes out a huge health bar chunk. Your dodge roll gives invulnerability frames, and he'll only use this attack when you're a certain distance directly in front of him. Get used to the timing and you can dodge roll directly through it. Once he exhausts his deck, he hopefully won't have many high-numbered cards left, allowing you to get in some real damage. Stand in front of him and methodically counter his every play. He'll always be stunned exactly long enough to let you finish one attack, then notice you're directly in front of him and try to attack again. Once Hollow Marluxia is dead, you can fight the real thing, who, despite the theatrics, is a walking cutscene. Every attack is easily countered and he always waits several seconds before the next one. With Marluxia's unexistence revoked and the second sequel hooked, the Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories level 1-ish run is halfway done. What, did you think I was gonna stop there? After beating the game with Sora, you unlock a totally separate campaign starring Riku. And unfortunately, not only is a true level 1 run as Riku impossible, even a jerry-rigged just for pretendsies level 1 run is impossible. Riku plays with a different set of mechanics, including a different set of level up bonuses. Riku can't manually customize his deck, so max card points are swapped for attack power, and his slates are all unlocked from the beginning, but only usable in his exclusive Super Saiyan Dark mode. So the slate bonus is replaced with max dark points. Of the 3 available stats, I personally believe dark points give the least combat advantage. All those do is allow Riku to stay in dark mode longer. While it is a tangible benefit, trust me, you're going to be dying a lot more often from a lack of health than a lack of angst. Without manual deck editing, you have to work with a dedicated deck unique to each individual world. Some are small and others are gigantic. And consistent through all these decks is a total lack of cure cards. The only ways to heal are with randomly spawning Mickey friend cards and the one time per battle Oogie Boogie enemy card. Mickey isn't just your backup plan, he's your only repeatable healing method. And we'll have to start from scratch grinding for map cards. Considering every level up actually gives tangible benefits this time, I consider this grind less optional. Traverse Town is the prime location, with weak Heartless and the smallest deck in the game. Having a short deck might seem like a bad thing, but Riku doesn't have to charge up reloads like Sora did. The next reload is always fully charged, activating immediately with a button press. The only wait time is when waiting for the deck refilling animation to complete, as every individual card flows past. The larger your deck, the more time you spend vulnerable every time you reload, which is why we're finally making real offensive use of stocked cards and slates. They'll do some decent damage, sure, but the fancy flippy kicks are just a pleasant side effect. Remember, the first stocked card is removed from play, and that's no penalty, it's a buff. Not only will you remove your weakest links to make a more sturdy deck, every individual slate will make your reload time just a little bit faster, until eventually reloads are so fast you effectively have an infinite size deck. This makes almost every boss in Riku's campaign easier than Sora's, save for the absolutely critical exception, the final boss and greatest challenge Chain of Memories has to offer, Ansem. This guy is absolutely overwhelmingly aggressive and powerful, and to make matters worse, both his deck and yours are ridiculously gigantic. Reloading takes several seconds, leaving us totally defenseless and giving Ansem more than enough time to combo us into oblivion. This battle is the golden crown of the entire game, requiring absolute mastery. In order to realistically survive long term, we need to shorten our deck ASAP. After a lot of experimenting, I found you can dodge both Ansem's standard attacks by rhythmically jumping away. Be warned, his electric attack is fired near instantly while his submit attack is on a delay. The timing to potentially dodge both is deceptively short. While jumping, you'll need to multitask and swipe around your deck. You can trigger an incomplete stock of cards while the reload card is selected. Stock a single attack card, slide to the reload card, wait for Ansem to play a viable card, and counter it. You might be worried about his charge dash move interrupting the pattern, but he always dashes towards the opposite edge of the screen first, leaving you with enough time to play a zero. Unfortunately, while I initially hoped this could cheese the entire battle, it isn't sustainable long term. Countering Ansem's cards inevitably triggers an automatic Dark Mode transformation. While Dark Mode is supposed to be an upgrade, it adds a bit of lag on Riku's landing animation, making our dodging strategy far more difficult. As Dark Riku, keep away from Ansem and spam 3-card slates as fast as possible using any card other than your 9s and 0s. Luckily, Ansem's deck is a grab bag of random values, while yours are almost all at least 7, so he'll usually only be able to beat your slates with a 0 card. Also keep in mind, Riku has a large stock of enemy cards. Along the way, you're absolutely going to need Oogie Boogie as a backup heal, plus once he's gone, Captain Hook will give you second chance to survive 1 extra hit. After emoting all your slates, Ansem will still have a pretty huge health bar, but now you've got the absolute most overpowered deck possible, filled with nothing but 9s and 0s. This guarantees a counter against any singular attack card. Once he stops using slates, cautiously approach him and counter his attacks as they pop up. Riku will automatically turn around to target Ansem, so you can continue countering as you make your escape. The majority of this fight's difficulty is just surviving long enough to reach this point. You should now be able to consistently safely drain his health bar. With Riku finally conquering the chains of the darkness in the heart of the cards or something, the Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories level 1 run is officially mission complete-ish. As for how complete-ish it actually was, Riku ended at level 28 and Sora ended at level 40. You know, 1-ish. Special thanks to all Patreon backers, including all the bugs UV has killed: Andrew Cyber, Mrs. Seckman, Les Lamb, RB Drock, Solon Zero, Chris Nate, Alexander Botkin, Anu, Anon42, Akira, Chosen Muffin, The Bass Singer, Vincent Hall, Vincent YT, Alex Nelson, Yellow Alert, Lively Leader, Lady Ashley, The Quacky Gamer, David 20 Covers, Luminescent Dragon, Jace Nilgis, Backsoid, Z-Master, Praetor, Faith, Blake Long. Whether we wanted it or not, we've stepped into a war with the Cabal on Mars, so let's get to taking out their command one by one. Volus to Ark, from what I can gather, he commands the siege. Rory Kelly, Lane Robert Leachman, Queen Sapphire, Crustacean Creep, Liddy Kitty, Jace Harsh, Plum Sweater, Cam the Can 1, Nathaniel Kalita, Xander Kozak, Celestial Cookie, 8-Bit Mischievous, Procrastinating Destiny, Epic Evan 921, Alex Likes to Eat, Ye Old Foreign, Super Davio, Ace of Hearts, Rundum Goy, Misfunctional, Jorb, KK, Gussios, Alistair Echoes, John Prairie, Dinmic Chimera Movement, Zoe, Multicore, Brandon Jessup, Aaron Bailey, The Green Scorpion, Game Champ says trans rights are human rights, Maverick Swordsman, Boomboxy, John Miller, Star Captain Eli Shaba of Clan Ghost Bear, SNS Main, Lero Rario, Dino Nerd Ghost, Christopher Gunderson, Curbs D50, Damian R, Yop Alonzo, Wave It, Platypoo 115, Sans from Undertale, Danzarios, James Simon, That One Night 5, you gotta have a very high IQ to watch Game Jam 3K, their humor is ludicrously subtle and without a grasp of theoretical gaming, Chronos Anthium, What's That Noise, Dwaro 25, Blue Moon Von Idaho, Britfake, drawn by AJ's haha funny meme name, The Nonchalant Nacho, Bragger Jester, Andrew D. Wood, Kid, Very Gucci, Blue Boo, Fabi, Hayden Bass, West 450, Riley Anderson, Avelium, Chenzo, Neo Sandman 4040, Zith Aggle, Arcombs, Robbie Cohenstrom. When we hit 200 Patreon supporters, Game Chat 3000 has to read the Patreon names in a funny voice for one video. Just for clarification, that was their name? I'm not doing any promises. Mars Becker, Salty Sweet, World's Slowest Rock Paper Scissors, let's try that again. Rock. Officer Slard, Slowest Game of Cheese. As white, I move a pawn to C3. Kimsey59, Pie Boy, Talmadro, I Love You Game Champ, Ivy Mackey, Sinique is pronounced Sinique. Sulfuric Boss, I'm barred and bolted and I won't let you in. Eric Barron, Palthea, Sir Catmoose, and Zero. Let me know how much this video sucks and ask why I didn't play the remake in the comments below. Neener, you can't say this one was dev intended, and get out of my house. Dan Sim? You may have defeated Ansem, but you didn't defeat the version of Ansem that fell into D. Dansem. D? Does that stand for darkness? No, stupid. D is darkness that has fallen into the deepest abyss of D. So it's darkness that's fallen to D. So Dansem is Ansem, the seeker of darkness, but he sought the D. He sought the D!